Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're asking why, obviously, and, well, let's just get into it. I decided to make this video after reading a recent article in the Pattaya Mail, that's pattayamail.com. Article is titled, Future Insurance Requirements for Foreigners Entering Thailand Still Muddled. And yeah, that headline sure captures kind of the state of play. But the reason for the video actually pertained to a specific excerpt in here. Quoting directly, there is growing speculation that Thailand may abolish the Thailand Pass pre-registration system for foreigners within the next 3 months, following a trial period with Thai nationals. This does not necessarily mean that international entrants will revert to the pre-COVID system of boarding a plane armed only with a passport and, if necessary, a visa. As a side note, I don't really understand why it wouldn't. I mean, you know, if this is determined to be endemic, which they're talking about that more and more is the case, and we get rid of Thailand Pass and it's endemic and the emergency decree is gone, then yeah, we are status quo anti-COVID. We're back to before all this happened back in March 2020, and frankly, that's where we probably ought to be because we've gotten through this. Quoting further, and this was more to the point on this particular video, obviously, and that's where I got the quote from, they will have to produce at Thai immigration their vaccination certification, which, according to the Ministry of Health, will be 2 jabs plus at least 1 booster. At present, full vaccination eligibility requires only the first 2 injections. Well, that's what I thought the definition of it was. So, you know, leaving that aside, why obviously? And the reason I asked that question is because we've done another video on this. We made a video, I don't know, a couple weeks back or 10 days ago, 7 days ago, roughly, regarding unvaccinated travelers. And we were taking information from the tatnews.org website, TAT being Tourism Authority of Thailand. We'll go ahead and put this back up on screen. Planning a trip to Thailand during COVID-19, important things travelers need to know. And then under unvaccinated, this is unvaccinated, not fully vaccinated travelers, must have the following documents for entering Thailand: a valid passport and a Thailand pass, or a border pass for arrivals via border checkpoints, an insurance policy with coverage no less than $10,000 US. Thais and foreign expatriates under Thailand's national health care coverage are exempt from this requirement. We've discussed that in other videos. And finally, a proof of prepayment for 5-night quarantine at government-approved hotels such as SHA, Extra Plus Hotel or AQ accommodations, plus proof of prepayment for 1 RT-PCR COVID-19 test. Thais are not required to prepay for the test. And as we discussed in the other video, prior video, quoting again, this is from tatnews.org, the quarantine is exempt for unvaccinated, not fully vaccinated travelers who are able to upload proof of a negative RT-PCR test within 72 hours of travel via the Thailand Pass system. The exemption also extends to travelers under 6 years of age traveling with parents. So when it's stated that obviously they'll have to produce at Thai immigration their vaccination certification, that's not obvious at all. In fact, the present instructions, the present guidelines, the present rules, if you will, are clear on that, as tatnews.org points out, as we've thrown up here on screen. So, you know, as we've discussed this before, I think this is generally a good thing overall because the more tourists, the merrier. And also, as we have moved into the phase of this thing where we're basically, it looks to me like we're coming to the end of it. It's endemic, just is what it is. We're all going to have to live with this. I think CDC in the United States came out the other day and said exactly that. You know, it's time to move on. And, you know, if people choose to be vaccinated, that's their decision. If people choose not to, that's theirs. You know, okay, there's an extra testing requirement presently, so long as this thing is still considered pandemic. But hopefully once it's considered endemic and all of this is put behind us, we'll just move back to the way it was. And I don't know why it seems like, I'm not pointing anyone out. Pattaya Mail, Bangkok Post seems to kind of be like this, or at least when I read things. But just media in general around the world, it seems like they're is this conscious effort to kind of continue to hold on to these really difficult and onerous requirements associated with basic travel rights. You know, okay, yeah, in an international context, yes, we've discussed this. Sovereign nations can make certain rules, and that nobody's disputing that. But at this point, is it reasonable to do this anymore? We're 2 years and 2 months out from this. There's no real mystery anymore about the nature of this thing. We discussed in another video recently, you know, I think it would be earlier today from the time this video goes out, the fact that they've changed the criteria in which they're counting deaths and things. I mean, at this point, I think it's really time to start having the paradigm of this is moving behind us. You know, not of trying to make this part of our overall routine. No more. We need to get back on track. Thailand needs to get tourism back. And I think, and let me be clear on this, I think Thailand's doing a great job. They've balanced things as well as they possibly could, I think, under the circumstances. Would I have done some things differently? Sure, and I'm on record where I've said so. But that being said, overall, I think things have moved along fine. And it's time to just, honestly, to put this behind us.